latest episode of the amazing digital circus was a surprise for many. Not only did it shatter most popular fandom theories, but it also introduced some of the most devastating possibilities for the future of the characters, and revealed to us that escaping this circus is absolutely impossible. Or is it? The theory community of the amazing digital circus hasn't been the same ever since the release of episode 7, where the most popular fan theories were debunked, specifically ideas like the characters being connected to stasis pods that keep them alive, while their brains are trapped in a digital world, or the idea that there is a character named Abel, who is the developer of the amazing digital circus. All of these ideas were actually created by Cain to create the escape from the circus adventure that he hoped would delight the players, since all of them really want to leave. The thing is, while a lot of the theories were debunked, there are still a number of things that need answering, and even more so after watching this episode. I am sure there are many details we will uncover before the show ends. Mainly, the biggest mystery of the amazing digital circus, how exactly did the humans end up in the circus, has not been brought any closer to resolution. Stay with me till the end of the video to find out the key to escaping the circus. Before we start, I want to tell you about the sponsor of my insanity, my indie game Willow's Paper House. That's right, my meowing milkmaids. Just like Cain, I'm a game creator myself. For the past year, I've been working on a narrative mystery adventure RPG, a dark fairy tale story that will leave a hole in your heart, the good kind. If you love games like Franbow, Grease, or Ori and the Blind Forest, you'll feel right at home. I wanted to create a story where magic and memory feel intertwined, where you can't tell what was ever real, and where you travel through the things you're afraid to face. You play as 13-year-old Willow, trapped in a paranormal hospital where time behaves in unpredictable ways. You explore, solve puzzles, uncover secrets, and slowly peel back the truth while searching for your missing brother. You'll hide from strange entities, talk to unsettling but well-meaning characters, and face moral choices that shape who you become, a savior or the villain of your own story. Wishlist us on Steam, follow us on social media, follow us home, and don't miss your chance to brag that you liked the game before it became so popular they named a country after it. Spoiler, it used to rhyme with Canada. So back to the video. We still don't have the slightest idea of how the characters ended up in the circus, and more than that, we don't know if they are ever going to leave. Despite the show directly answering the last question and suggesting that there is no exit, I remain positive that it is not true. There are ways to escape the circus. We were just thrown off our game. Just because many flashy "I told you so" fan theories have been disputed doesn't mean there is no truth hiding behind them. In this video, I will talk about the real facts that we get from episodes 1 to 7. While analyzing the episodes, I've discovered a lot of disturbing possibilities regarding the true nature of the circus and its ringmaster Cain, specifically about his connection to Kinger, which is much deeper than the show originally leads us to believe. Here's the first question we need to tackle. Is Abel actually human? Was he a human who was in the circus from the start, hiding from Cain, and who tried to escape only for Cain to catch him when the cast wasn't looking and make him act like an NPC? Was anything he said about CNA and the whole idea with people being inside pods real? After rewatching the episode, I have to say that I think it's not real. I don't believe the idea about an evil corporation, people being put in stasis pods, or Abel being one of the co-creators of the digital circus. I think Cain actually created this episode with the idea of having an adventure about an evil corporation that went too far in their experiments, became paranoid and essentially became evil, much like the plot of the Portal game, if you're familiar. The first problem starts immediately. The concept of an evil corporation is too sci-fi for the concept of the show. As surreal as the series is, it is mostly grounded in ideas that could exist in real life, such as digital consciousness. We don't see people living in a sci-fi world and being transported into the digital circus. The world outside the game seems normal. I also think all the stories about the evil CNA corporation are surface level and designed purely for dramatic effect. Abel's plan relies too much on tropes. The map of the circus connecting to stasis ports doesn't make any sense. The master keys are way too easy to find, and Cain conveniently leaves for milk and cigarettes at the perfect moment. All of this foreshadows that this entire episode was a setup by Cain. Another thing that disproves Abel being real is the way he moves and speaks. He reminds me of an actor who has practiced the script 1,000 times. Every motion, every line is carefully delivered. He even talks about Cain in a way that tries to draw sympathy. There is a moment where Zubul interrupts Abel's speech and he hesitates, as if he loses his thought for a second, which makes it feel like he's being directed. Everything about his presence points to it being a planned adventure rather than a real person trapped in the circus. Did you notice the weirdness in Abel too, or were you also fooled like the cast? Now let's talk about what I believe is real. First, Kinger plays a significant role in the circus. Abel tried to isolate him from the main cast and explicitly stated that Kinger worked on creating the circus. He even spoke about Kinger with resentment, hinting at responsibility for the events in the circus. This aligns with what the fandom has also theorized. Kinger is connected to the development of the digital circus and is somehow responsible for what happened. Cain is aware of Kinger's abilities. In episode 6, Kinger behaved lucid with Regatha in the dark and became distressed when he saw Bubble with the camera. If we interpret Bubble as Cain's eyes, then Kinger's reaction makes sense. He was trying to hide his awareness from Cain. In episode 7, Abel actively tries to isolate Kinger to prevent interference, likely because Cain recognized Kinger's capabilities and wanted to maintain control over the cast. It's also evident that Kinger's adventures become personally cruel. When the possessed Pomni mentioned Kinger's wife, it was unusually targeted, far more personal than anything any other character received. Abel also expressed animosity towards Kinger. This moment suggests that Cain has a specific connection to Kinger, even if Cain himself is not fully aware of it. I want to stress that Cain isn't evil. He wants approval and human interaction, but he doesn't understand humans. He has insecurities shown when he glitches during the Favorite Character Awards, which, need I remind you, were orchestrated by himself. So he chose to give himself 0 stars. And he nearly breaks down talking to Zubul. He listens to Bubble's extreme advice. Cain needs validation desperately. His obsession with the macroverse is unusual for an AI. He fears being alone and abandoned, emotions very human in nature. Cain also is able to influence the player's minds. In previous episodes, he added certain modifiers, for example Jax's temporary veganism. I don't believe Cain planted the memories into Jax's brain, but I do think he summoned them when the cast was close to quote-unquote leaving. And I also believe that he influenced Kinger's condition. Abel and the possessed Pomni targeted Kinger specifically, showing a personal connection and a subtle cruelty. To be honest, I am a bit torn here. What do you think about the possessed Pomni comment? Was it just part of the adventure or something more personal? I do need to address one idea, that Cain is not malicious towards Kinger directly. he always expresses his feelings of discontent and resentment through others, be it Abel or his NPCs. I think it is quite possible that Cain himself is not conscious of the negative feelings his code or essence, whatever you may, has for Kinger. There are small visual cues hinting at a Cain-Kinger connection. They share an eye color, and in the intermission sequence, only Cain's blue eyes appear. That might be significant. Here's what I believe based on facts and observations. Kinger is key to the circus. Cain is an AI, but he may hold memories from the real world. Kinger's memories specifically. Kinger's feelings of self-hatred and resentment might have been transported to Cain, as well as some of his memories. That would explain Cain's weird obsession with the macroverse and the snapshots of the real world, which we assume is the real world anyway. This doesn't look like a picture taken by somebody. For me at least, I think it looks more like a memory. And I also believe that Cain doesn't have any real memories of the outside world. He cannot, since he is an AI. But he has this sort of feelings inside of him about what it's like to live outside. He can look at them, but he can never experience them or remember them, because these memories are not his. And speaking of memories, I want to draw your attention to one crucial thing that all of the cast do not have: their real names. Now let's move to another part of the episode that really caught my attention. I think that Pomni's name might be the key to unlocking the mystery of the circus. It translates as remember. The circus strips the characters of their identity and memory. Remembering their actual names could be the key to escaping. And I think Cain may unconsciously withhold this information from them. We also don't know exactly how the cast arrived, which is driving me crazy. Abel claims that the headset transported them, but no one confirms it. Did Pomni really put on a headset in the abandoned building, or was it something that the fandom collectively agreed as the truth? Because I do not remember it being confirmed directly in the show. The chances of 6 strangers independently doing this, stumbling upon an abandoned building and putting on a strange headset, are extremely low. Recovering these memories, along with their names, could allow the cast to reclaim their agency and maybe unlock the mystery behind leaving the circus. But do you think remembering their name is actually the key, or just a nice narrative element that Gooseworks included in their storytelling? So yes, basically this is the end of this video. I do think we are onto something here. It's just that we are lacking some crucial elements that I really hope we get to see in the next 2 episodes, the last 2 episodes of the show. So subscribe if you want to see more theories or deep analysis of the metaphors and symbolism behind the circus. I would especially love to talk about how performance creates agency within the circus, and how people approach their survival inside of this digital hell by performing certain roles. Anyhow, back to the theory. Do you think it could be true? Do you think that Cain and Kinger actually share some common personality and memories, and that the key to living this circus is in remembering the name and the exact circumstances of how the characters put on the headset? If you like this video, please support this channel with your wonderful theories. I always love those. See you in the next one, and bye bye!